Parkour is a sport that doesn't really have a lot of startup costs. Like, all you need is you and some walls. And some would even argue you don't even really need shoes. But in my opinion, there are some fundamental things that you should always have with you. So these are the top 5 things every free runner needs while training. So number 1 on the list is an important one, especially if you're a pasty white boy like me, and that is sunscreen. Today we're over here at the White Walls in Phoenix, and the sun just reflects off every possible surface in this area. So sunscreen is a must. Protect your skin, people. Now the second thing you need is God. The Lord. And obviously by God, I mean water. You need water, people. If you're doing any type of exercise, you need water. Now here in the US, most gas stations that you go to, if you go in and ask to fill up your water bottle, they'll let you most of the time. I don't know how it is in other countries, but especially here in Phoenix during the summer, if they don't let someone fill up the water, that person could die, literally. It gets so hot here, people die from heat stroke all the time. So number 2, make sure you have water with you. Side note, this is one of the sketchiest spots I've ever trained at. It's so bad. We got shirts, we got socks, we got all kinds of just shit everywhere. But the walls are sick. I think I could do a pretty cool line here. Number 3. Now, this is something you don't always have to have with you, but I recommend having with you because you never know when you're gonna need it, and that is a first aid kit. Perfect example of this is when we were down in Tucson and Shay split his knee open. All of us had first aid kits to where we could put some gauze and tape onto that gash. That way he could get to the ER and get stitches in it. So always have a first aid kit. You can get them super cheap on Amazon, and they come with a decent amount of stuff. Like, there's a lot of things in here. You got tons of Band-Aids, you've got some athletic tape, you've got some gauze, you've got some gloves. Anything you need, like these $20 first aid kits are great. Number 4 on this marvelous list of merriment is snacks, food. Doesn't matter what, just something to eat when you're out for a long day of training. Obviously, if you're just going to a spot to do a quick session, you don't really need it. But if you're starting early and planning to train for 4, 5, 6 hours, you need to have food with you. Recently, I've been enjoying these bad boys, which are these cashew clusters from Costco. They are so good. Any type of nuts.
These nuts.
Fruits are good because they have some natural sugars in there to give you some energy boost. Anything to just keep you going during a long training session is a must. Last, but certainly not least, I'm giving you kind of a 2-for-1 here. And this one can go either way. Some people like using these things, some people don't. It depends on the challenges you're working on and how you're wanting to train. Those things are chalk and Coke. Now I know what you're saying, like, you don't need to have those with you every time you go training, and I agree, but they are nice to have in the bag. And for the Coke, to make things a little bit simpler, I've actually just got a small little spray bottle with Coke inside it. So if you're working on any type of rail challenges, rather than having Coke and having to get it in a rag and wipe it on the rails, you can just spray this onto the rails, let it sit, and you'll get a nice thin layer of stickiness that will help you grip those rails. And as for the chalk, if you're doing any type of arm jump work or anything like that that involves your hands, you're gonna wanna use that to get better grip. You can carry around a plastic bag with chalk in it, but I actually went ahead and got this chalk bag that you can seal up nice and tight, and you don't have to worry about any chalk coming out. It compresses down nice and small, so that's always nice to have on hand. So those are the 5 things that I think every free runner should have in their bag when they go out training. Some of them you need more often than the others, but it's always nice to have them on hand. As you can see, we've been at a few different locations this video, a few different days. Not really showing much training right now because I'm out shooting clips for the end of the year video. And I kind of want to keep most of those a surprise. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it. Take some of these things that I mentioned, bring them with you on your training, and I think you'll be better off than not having them. So get out there, have a good week, have a good weekend, get some training in. I'll see you in the next video.